All right, y'all. I think I found my leak. I haven't done everything else, but so far I did cylinder 1. I'm doing cylinder 6 since that's the firing order: 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 4. So far I've done one. Leak down is pretty good. I don't have a big compressor, but I got it all the way up to 95 psi on the gauge. Well, on the compressor side on the gauge, and then on the cylinder side of the gauge, it was 90. So it was 95 and 90, which is like a 5% or less than that. But anyways, cylinder 6, that's the one I just noticed now. Hopefully my gauge is able to get this whole thing up, but you won't see much anyway. I mean, actually, you're gonna see the problem right away. Let's see. Go in. Look at that. Cranking that 10%. And you can hear all the hissing coming out from this side, from the turbo. You can hear, yep, I can feel from the exhaust. Yep, I definitely feel from the exhaust. Yep, so cylinder 6 is my culprit, reason why I'm having low vacuum. The joys of modifying cars. Hey, learning process, it is what it is. Alright, so on that video, yes, I was having a leak. Ooh, that's a black butterfly. It's huge. God. There it is. Smokes. Where you at? There you are. That's a really huge butterfly. Alright, pardon me, I got interrupted by that big old butterfly. But anyways, like I said, that test I just did was not the whole diagnostics on this motor and what was wrong with it. I had to keep doing more researching into potentially what else could be wrong. And yeah, let's just say, sit back and watch more of the video and you'll understand what I mean. Alright, y'all, so I had an issue with my car. I started having a little vacuum issue, and I was trying to do a lot of tests just to determine what my problem is. First of all, I have a clear timing cover. If you've ever seen any of my videos, I accidentally cracked the timing cover right in the middle when I leaned on it by accident. But I didn't notice there was going to be a bunch of issues. For example, I believe the timing cover caused that. If you can really pay attention, I mean, focus, but you can see the crack right there. That was one of my first things that I've noticed. And obviously, if you know anything about Jay-Z's, just look at the timing. I turn everything to the top dead center. When you see this, it's kind of off right now just because I had to take the belt off, which made it come off a little bit. But either way, it's not that far off. That's the dot right there on the oil pump, and then that's the line right there on the crank sprocket. But anyways, if you look at that, okay, just a little bit off. But if I line it up, let's just see what it is on the top. See the top, that's your timing mark. It's supposed to line up with that line right there. It's advanced. Same with this timing mark right there. That's the one you're supposed to follow on the cam gear. It's advanced also. Essentially, my car's been having a little vacuum issue. I made a trip to Austin and back, but that was not one of my issues. It was one of my issues, but that's not all my issues. One of the main issues I had was my relay for my fuel pump literally melted. And then they started causing my car to run super lean, like really bad. I adjusted my tune, well, idle, I should say. I adjusted my idle to make sure it's not running lean anymore. I didn't check over the tune. Went over to Austin, came back, and I replaced the relay prior to going to Austin. But I was like, hey, let me go to my buddy's shop, to see if it can look over my tune, because when I was in Austin, I tried to do a pull and my car was like 10 flat AFRs, and I know my tuner does not tune for 10 flat. It usually does like 11.2, 11.5. But I decided, okay, you know what, let me do a leak down test. Leak down test showed the cylinder 1, 3, 1, 3, and maybe 6 were good. 1, 3, and 6 were good. 2, yeah, 1, 3, 5. My bad. It was 1, 3, 5 were good. 2, 4, 6 showed I was leaking throughout the exhaust. Well, this is probably the reason why, right here. And then I just pulled off the timing cover, and guess what I see? I had guessed I would find this, or excuse my French, I had guessed I would find this here, and it's right there. Just so you don't think I'm BSing. It's been sitting there since I accidentally cracked it months ago. And here's the part that cracked off. So, but what I don't understand is why did my stuff just jump timing really bad? I'm really hoping that this bill of tensioner did not freaking go or fail on me, because if it did, I'll be freaking pissed. But anyways, let me figure it out. Hopefully I can get my motor back in and everything should be good. I mean, like I said, when I did leak down test, the cylinders that showed me good positive numbers, everything were all good. I looked in the pistons, they were still all good. So let me keep working. I cannot really record and do stuff at the same time because I don't have my GoPro on me. It's dead right now, so I'm using my phone. But I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks. All right, y'all. So you already pretty much seen where I left off the last time. I got a new Gates timing belt, and I got everything all sorted out. TDC 0. Well, this is hair off, but whatever. It's only because I took that off, but it doesn't make that much of a difference on that very tiny spot. But it's timed on the cams, and I've already spun it like 3 times already. Everything still lines up at 0 down there. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just gonna try to put spark plugs 2 through 6, and then I have my compression tester here. I would try to get a compression test done on this and then see what the health of the motor is. If everything is still good across the board, I'm going to try and crank it, start it actually. I'm gonna let it run for like maybe 30 seconds to see if my vacuum gauge inside is reading back to normal again, and we'll go from there. Every time I try to record this, I don't always remember to put my GoPro on the charger, so it's not charged, and that's the reason why I'm using my phone. But I'll keep you guys updated what goes on in the next step. All right, I am going on cap. It is hot in Texas. Like, this is not water. I did not pour none of this on my body. I mean, what the current temperature is, so y'all don't think I'm lying. Look at what time it is. It says 95 degrees, but it probably feels hotter than that, if we're being honest. Let me see if this shows me in actual real feel. Yep, it does show it. Feels like 110. Look at the humidity. I'm gonna keep going. I just gotta put the last spark plug in. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and I knew I saw coolant leaking. Lovely. Okay. That's the reason why I got coolant over there. I kept staring like, where is this thing coming from? But anyways, I'm gonna put the last spark plug in and then try to do the compression test. Gosh, look, I'm even sweating on the belt. And I'm gonna do a compression test and I'll let you know the numbers. See you in a sec. All right, so I'm not too optimistic in regards to the way this car is gonna run. My whole mental focus right from when I initially started having all these issues was that I'm gonna have to pull the heads and possibly fix something on the exhaust valves or whatever based off the leak down test I originally did. Well, I put the timing belt, did everything back at zero, TDC, all that good stuff. But I did a compression test and I don't like the numbers that I'm getting. But they're pretty consistent though, except cylinder 3. Cylinder 3 was about, give it a take, 15 psi less than, I'll say on average, maybe 10 psi or something like that, less than the other ones, which is ironic because it's usually I would expect the back cylinders to give out first, but for some reason cylinder 3 is the one giving out mostly. But I did a leak down test also. Leak down test checked out pretty good. Like, even except cylinder 3. Cylinder 3 had the worst leak out of all the cylinders. So whatever it is, or whatever the verdict is going to be on this motor, I know for sure cylinder 3 is the culprit. But I'm just going to try to run it real quick because my radiator hoses are still open, but I just want to quickly run it just to see what this whole thing runs like, and if my vacuum looks to be slightly improved. If it does, that means, well, timing has something to do with it. But if it doesn't, obviously it's time to tear the whole thing apart. Well, top end wise, I should say. Bottom end is still fine, but top end wise, it's going to be time to tear it apart again. And this time I'm probably going to do oversized valves on the intake, ported obviously. I'm not just going to throw oversized valve because it absolutely makes zero difference if you just throw like 2J intake valves in it. It doesn't make any power. You just throwing bigger valves in there for no reason. But I was almost thinking about oversizing the exhaust, but the 1Js are the bigger exhaust. So all I'm just going to do is port the exhaust, well, actually port the whole motor, but make sure I go oversized with the port on the intake side to take advantage. But anyways, we'll see how this runs. right, so just to close this out, as you can see in the video, after I set the timing correctly and made sure everything was good, bled the cooling system also, the car ran fine, well, idled fine and everything, but my tuner was off because when I was having all those issues, I went to my tuner to try and adjust things, not knowing timing was completely off on the mechanical side. So basically my whole tuner was off. So essentially I went over to my tuner, hey, can we just do a quick street tune just to see if everything looks good? Vacuum was good. We did a couple of pulls on the street just on my low boost. He actually did never add timing to the engine, and he did pretty good. Better than what it felt like when I was in Austin, Texas. So for now, I can say what I'm going to do is just drive the car, enjoy it the way it is for now, and see if I can find me a 1J head for cheap, and I'll build that on the side, like porting and all that stuff. And if I eventually have the time, I'm gonna go ahead and swap over. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy it the way it is. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for sticking around.